Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Reggie Gamer 06, and thank you for clicking on today's video. And normally, I'm not big on this kind of stuff, but it's based on my favorite book. Y'all know I did a video on it. Uh, Vampire Hunter D Volume 1 Omnibus, which, by the way, I got over 1,000 views on that. So thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I thought today I'm going to go over the manga series or manga. I don't know how to really pronounce that. I hear it two different ways. I've been pronouncing it manga for a very, very long time until I started hearing people pronouncing it manga. So I don't know which one is correct, but so yeah. Now before I begin, I'm only missing one volume. That is volume 7. I used to have it, but some of my volume got destroyed. Let me explain. So this happened maybe it's been a while. Maybe 2 years ago now. Uh, I had all the volume. I have just got volume 8, and I was gonna reread it. And when I got to or when I reached down, because I had it on the shelf behind me there, okay, in the very bottom. Somehow, one of my cats decided to use the bathroom. Yeah, one of my cats peed on it. I guess it's a behavioral thing. I talked to the vet about it. It's a behavioral thing, so it is what it is. I mean, they're cats. You can't change them. So, luckily, not all my vines were destroyed. Because I remember when I was reaching for one, it might have been volume 4, I think. And I kept smelling something really bad. Like, what is that smell? And I noticed the book had like a sandy feel to it. And come to find out, my cat had peed on it. So I had to throw away volumes 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, the first three and volume 8 were okay. They were safe. So, yeah. So I was disappointed. So I started rebuying them. Not right away. 'Cause I thought, you know what? I'm taking a break anyway. Whatever. I got games to play that keep me busy. But here lately, I've been kind of reading them again. So I rebought volumes 4, 5, and 6. Volume 7 is on Amazon for like 35 bucks, but the estimate is not until like March 6th. I'm not waiting that long. Okay, I'm not waiting till March to do this video. I want to do this video a lot sooner because I just want to talk about it. Kind of get something to watch. I know I've been putting out Resident Evil 4, so but I'm still having a great time playing that. Don't get me wrong. I love that game. So yeah, so don't be surprised when you know that Volume 7 is missing. I will probably buy another copy, or I may just get on Kindle. You can get on Kindle for like $10. Some of these are expensive, but I'll get to that as I go through them. So we're gonna start with Volume 1. Here it is. Yes, as you can see, it's got a crease mark. I don't know how that happened. I actually bought this. I think I start buying these. What year did this come out? 2007. Never mind. I was still living in Paragould. Yeah, I was still living here before I moved to St. Louis. Cause I remember I bought these at Barnes and Noble, and I remember when they first announced these, knowing that they were based on the books, I got excited. I'm like, yes, we can actually see what's going on in the book. I mean, yeah, they made a movie based on the first one back in the 80s, but it don't do it justice. But this falls close to the book. I mean, I think there's some changes here and there, but not a lot. For the most part, the story's the same. So you see, it's like a little glossy look. Very cool. Here is the spine. I forgot mangas, how you want to say it. It's backwards. And then here's the back. It's rated YA for young adults, 16 plus. It's got some nudity in it, but not overall bad. US 12.95. It says the year is 2090 AD, and what little is left of humanity has finally crawled out from the ashes of war and destruction. From the darkness of fallout, mutants and a race of vampires known as the nobility have spawned. They rule the weak with no remorse. Once bit by a nobility, one is cursed to become a member of the undead. Villagers cower in fear, hoping and praying for a savior to rid them of their undying nightmare. All they have to battle with this danger is a different kind of danger, a vampire hunter. Enter D, a lone, mysterious vampire hunter sought out by the desperate Doris Lane. Bent by the vampire lord Count Lee, Doris is destined to her unholy fate. Can D deliver her from her curse and bring her to salvation, or will she forever be part of the unholy dead? I think they got Count Lee from Christopher Lee, I think. Uh, with the avid success of the Vampire Hunter D novel series, co-published in English by Digital Manga Publishing and Dark Horse Press, DMP continues to push the envelope, bringing what every manga survive and horror fans has been waiting for. For the first time in manga form, Digital Manga Publishing presents their flagship title for 2007, Hideyuki Kikuchi's Vampire Hunter D, to fans in North America and around the world. Be a part of this simultaneous worldwide multiple language release. So, and if you notice the pages, it's like red. Very cool. Uh, Kind of get an idea of the artwork. There you have it. Uh, there's D. Very cool. So, yeah, there you have it. That's volume one. Now, if you're going to collect this, you might be disappointed because these things are expensive now. Okay, they don't make them anymore. Now, some of these fonts are still cheap. I'll let you know which ones that are still cheap. I just went to Amazon. This is almost $1,000. 971. Who's gonna pay that much? I don't. I would. However, you can get it on Kindle for just $10. So, but if you want it physical, I wish you luck. Now, eBay may be cheaper, but you might be spending over $100. But that's up to you. I would check eBay if I were you. But yeah, Amazon is going for almost $1,000. It's ridiculous. But like I said, I guess they stopped making these. They didn't make a whole lot of copies. So yeah, it's rare. And now with volume two, again, you got this glossy look, the shiny letters, very cool. And it's in purple this time instead of red. You can see the pages are purple. Very nice. Here's the back. And here's the side. Now, this one is cheap. Okay, I think you get this one for like $15, and I think it's $8 on Kindle version. So, not for sure why this one's cheaper. But yeah, this is based on Razor of Gales, Volume 2, if you read the books. It says, vampires walking in the light of day. Towering above the sleepy village of Tepish are ancient ruins once erected by the nobility. One day, 4 of the town's children wander into the ruins and vanish without a trace, only to mysteriously reappear a few weeks later. But only 3 return, bearing no memory of what had happened to them. 10 years later, a new breed of vampire emerges, one which can seemingly hunt during the daytime. Losing the city daylight offers, panic and mass hysteria begins to grip the townspeople, inciting riots and lynch mobs. Amidst the turmoil, the enigmatic vampire slayer known as D is called in to investigate. Can he solve the mystery of the Walking Dead's newfound powers and unravel the truth behind the missing children's connection to the secrets of the ruins? Uh, and this is created by the same guys, illustrated by Seiko Takaki. Uh, Vampire Hunter D is a blood-curdling horror fest filled with raging mutants, chorused by the anti-hero savvy monster slaying style. Takaki's masterfully illustrated portrayal of Kikuchi's half-human, half-vampire monster hunter borders between the horrific and the fantastic. Delve into the surreal as you've never seen before, and this is $12.95. Of course, it's YA for young adults, 16 plus. Here is the flap. Look at that, really pretty. Let's see if I can find. Uh, Try to find a good picture of D. Well, I mean, there he is, right there. So that is volume 2. Now I forgot to show you the flap for volume 1. That's Doris Lang for volume 1. Very cool. And here is volume 3, which a lot of people should like, because this is based on the second movie, Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Of course, in the book, it's called, what was it called? Uh, wow, it slipped my mind just a while ago. Anyway, you know what? I gotta look it up now. That's bugging me. It's Demon Death Chase, yeah. I was thinking Dreamcatcher, but I knew that wasn't right. Demon Death Chase is the name of the book version. So, now, know the difference about this one, though? It's no longer glossy like the first 2 volumes. And the pages are just a normal white. It's not colored in at all. So I think this is when they start cutting back on cost, sadly, because I really like how they made the first 2 volumes with the glossy cover and the colored pages. But yeah, from volume 3 onwards, they just made it like this. But it's still a good read, don't get me wrong. So yeah, here's the cover. Here's the back. And the spine. Now, I believe this is going for almost $400. But again, you could get it. Actually, no, not this one. I think this one, for some reason, does not have the Kindle version. I don't know why that is. But yeah, it's almost $400. But again, maybe try eBay. It might be your best bet. And then you have, I mean, it's still got the cover. They at least kept this with a gloss. There's Meyer Ling. I forget the woman's name. But then you have your character, the Marcus clan. So very cool. Let's see. Yeah, just great artwork. Kind of reminds me of Castlevania. Now that I think about it, so it's very cool stuff. There's Meyer Lane that D is after, and there's D himself. But trying to, yeah, here's D up close. There he is. So read the back. It says the long-awaited third installment of the manga, adapted from the worldwide success of the Vampire Hunter D novel series, and spawned by the hit anime film Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. The vampire slaying hunter known only as D, with a reputation of taking care of business by way of the sword, is on another bounty run, this time to rescue the beautiful daughter of a wealthy village elder kidnapped by the vampire noble Mayor Lane, or Meyer Lane, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But what happens when another group of bounty hunters have taken up the same assignment? Head of the notorious mercenary clan, the Marcus family. Oldest brother Borgoth leads his not so merry band of ruthless renegades, not only on a mission of pursuit and retrieval, but also on a path of destruction that will hopefully wipe out anything that gets in the way from their payday, including D. But all is not what it seems with the vampire Mayor Lane. In hopes of buying enough time to thwart his pursuers and escaping to his secret destination, he enlists help from a safe haven village inhabited by mutant monsters outcasts with daunting powers of their own. What is the reason behind his taking of a prize he seems to hold most dear? Is this really abduction or some strange form of vampire elopement? Is this vampire noble more than what he leads others to believe? It is up to D to find the true purpose behind the chase, and time is running out. But with so many obstacles against him, will he ever catch up before the taken will never be seen again? So Takaki's transcendent, dreamlike imaginary continues to raise the bar on Kikuchi's vision of the slick and stoic vampire hunter in this Romeo and Juliet style tale adapted from the third volume of the acclaimed Vampire Hunter D novel series. So this is $13.95, so it went up $1 more. So yeah, there you have it, volume 3. Then we have volume 4. Again, it's just white pages. Here's a spine. And here is this. Here are your characters. Very cool. I'm sorry y'all can hear my dogs barking. But yeah, I mean, again, great artwork. So, and of course, this is based on Tale of the Dead Town, I believe what the volume 4 was called. Uh, Now, this is going for 144 on Amazon. But again, you can get it for like $10 on Kindle. So, I mean, you might find it cheaper on eBay. I don't know. It says A Paradise Lost. The insistent wonders of D, the mysterious vampire hunter, brings him to a floating city of paradise, a utopian society, the site of a small town hovering safely above the reach of the perils of the frontier. After a chance encounter and the subsequent rescue of Lori, a lone survivor of the savage wasteland, and a shady character named Pluto 8, D is called in by the mayor of the floating city to eradicate a problem. Bite marks on the mayor's daughter. What was the thought to be a safe haven? What was thought to be a safe haven now shows signs of vampires running loose. As more and more of the townsfolk become denizens of the undead, it becomes clear that all is not what it seems, and that both the mayor and Lori are somehow entangled in the confusing mystery. But the particular parts that they play are what D has to unravel. And where does Blue 8 fit into all this? So yeah, $13.95. Uh, great book, great read. So yeah, again, it's $10 on Kindle, but if you want the physical copy like this, I mean, again, you're looking at 140 on Amazon, but you might find it cheaper. I don't know. It's all different depending who the buyer is. So okay, here's volume 5, the back and the spine, and here is the picture. Very beautiful. Here are your characters. And this is based on uh, Stuff of Dreams. Is the name of the book version. So try to find some good pics, good pictures. Uh, D find giant chickens. Yeah. So anyway, this is Dreams of a Sleeping Beauty in a Mystifying Blue Haze. The vampire hunter known only as D is all too familiar with the war-ravaged town that suffered attacks by all manner of monsters and malevolent villains as a matter of routine. But on the furthest outskirts of the land, a small village exists where man and immortal vampire coexist peacefully. Usually hot on the trail of immortals for a promise of bounty, this time what draws D to this particular village are circumstances that can only be described as unusual. In this town, a 17-year-old named Sybil races for the 30th year since receiving the age-defying kiss of a vampire. These dreams are haunted by blue-tinged images of the sleeping girl. But what will he find once he's lured to her side? Is the village really as peaceful as it seems? So yeah, volume 5. Then you have volume 6. Here's the back, the spine. So this, I believe, this is not available right now on Amazon. Excuse me, you can only get the Kindle for $10, but eBay may have this, so I would check out eBay. I can't remember the name of the title of the book. It's like Sacred and the Profane, something like that. It's kind of a long title. I've only read it once. I don't really remember what happened in this book. It says a race across treacherous terrain, a vital piece of information regarding a person of great interest. Dee sends him galloping across a dangerous desert. He is tailed by a grinning viper. Okay, I do remember her. The people find her who needs to cross the desert herself to bring home one of the hidden someone once imprisoned by a noble. Doubtful that they can make it through the journey alive, Granny ingratiates themselves to Dee, hoping that the vampire hunter would protect them from the perils of the land when the time comes, which is just as well since the desert of no return, as the name implies, is no ordinary desert. In fact, no one has ever come out of it alive. Along the way, Dee gets on the wrong side of the Bolo brothers, two of the roughest, toughest hunters there are, and they are looking for some payback. It's Dee out on the wild frontier, complete with covered wagon and guns ablazing, or rather, sword a slashing. So, once again, uh, close to nudity, but not quite. But there you have it. I'm assuming she's wearing a dress. I don't know. She looks nude to me. But here are your characters. Once again, it's neat how they did the characters. I really like that. So, so you got D with his scarf up right there. Let's see. a close-up shot of D. So, yeah, Volume 6. And like I said, I don't have Volume 7, but it is the first, I think it's like the Northern Sea Part 1, I think is what it was called. So, like I said, I don't have it. I may just end up getting on the Kindle, or I may get the one that says it's gonna be, till March. So I might pick it up just to have it in my collection. Now, the books, if I'm not mistaken, it's like what 30 volumes, 31, maybe it's more than that. Uh, the manga, however, this is the sad part about the series is that it ends with Volume 8. Yes. Volume 8 is the last one. You can tell it's brand new. Now this is the latest one. Now this is still cheap, okay? This is still like $15, $16. Um so this is like the North Sea Part 2, but the manga version, this is the last one, sadly. Uh I heard the author, I think it was the author, or it might be the illustrator. I can't remember, but one of them got like sick, so they're not doing any more manga to this. So I know it's sad, but anyway, let's look at the. I don't know if it's got a flap thing or not. Probably does it. Oh yeah, it does. So, but I don't think it has the characters. But so yeah, I know I showed the back of it. Here's the spine. It says the riveting conclusion to the 2-volume episode. A mysterious bead in a young woman's dying wish have brought Dee to the seashore village of Florence, a town that's perpetually stuck in winter. Summer comes to the shore but 1 week a year, and it brings something more than just a warm weather. The soul surviving noble comes out of hiding too. That rare bead may hold all the secrets of the nobility and humans. With such an enticing artifact uh, in his hand, literally, Dee is doggedly pursued by the henchmen of the young woman's murderer. These unscrupulous assassins have no qualms using the dead woman's sister as bait to draw out Dee. But the mysterious noble has other designs on her. Finally remembering what he has been seeking all these years, the noble won't let anything get in his way, even a notorious vampire hunter like Dee. Now, when Volume 7 came out, they were done. They were originally this was going to come out, but when it did, it was only released in Japan and France because in those countries, Vampire Hunter D is very popular in those regions. Because sadly, it wasn't popular here in the United States. So, yeah. So when this came out, it was only in Japan and France, and I remember being disappointed because Volume 7 ended in a cliffhanger. I'm like, come on. But yeah, I read the book once, but I don't remember what happened. It's been years since I read it, so I don't remember the story too well. So, but then one day, I don't know if this was last year or when this came out. It may not say. Hang on, maybe it will. Uh, January of 2023. So it's been out for a while. 2023, they finally released it in English. So I had to pick it up. So, but yeah, so now we finally have Volume 8. Again, this is the final one. They are not making any more. So, anyway, guys, that's my today's video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Go check out my Vampire Hunter D Omnibus Book 1 if you haven't already. So, yeah. If you haven't read the mangas, read it. Like I said, some of these books are expensive now, but you can get it on the Kindle. But for whatever reason, Volume 3 is not on Kindle version. I don't know why. But you might find it cheap on eBay. eBay's your best friend. So check out eBay if you can. See if you can find it. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Share this channel with all your friends and family. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.